Hey everyone, welcome back for day 6 of our amazing 6-part series, tips and tricks to maintain a healthy diet and lifestyle during this epic summer of 2021. Our guest today is the absolutely gorgeous Carly Knapp. She is a fellow certified integrative nutrition health coach. She also has a master's degree in health and health communication. She also has a Bachelor of Arts in journalism. So she's a very, very smart lady, and she has lots of great tips for us. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her up so she can introduce herself. Welcome, Carly. How are you?
I'm so well. Thank you for having me, Samantha. I'm excited about today.
Me too. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm a certified holistic health coach. I was trained through the Integrative Institute of Nutrition. It's a magnificent program because they really aim to educate you on all the different dietary theories so that you can help people with their own individual needs. You know, I believe that each body is different and each body may need different things at different points in their life. So that's where I studied. I got into this space after several autoimmune diagnoses, eating disorders, and I just had to learn. I went the Western route, was on all sorts of medications, and just felt in my gut it wasn't right. And so I started researching how to heal myself naturally. And then once the world of holistic health opened up for me, I just had to scream it from the rooftops. So I felt the call just to help other people with these diseases, and especially autoimmune disorders. It's just one after another right now. But a lot of them actually do have commonalities in the causes and ways to heal. So I'm just really fortunate to get to help people heal autoimmune diseases.
That's really awesome. I think that most of us health coaches do go into health coaching because we ourselves have suffered from something and went the traditional route, took the medication, didn't like it, didn't see results, we did our own research, talked to our doctors, and I felt the same way. I wanted to just tell the world all about, how to manage, chronic digestive disorders. So, I signed up for IIN like that. I was like, take my money.
So worth it. So worth it.
Yeah. I'm on the 2-year plan. All right. So tell us some of your fabulous tips. Tell us about chug as soon as you rise.
Okay. So I won't go into the details because I think we all know how important it is to be hydrated. I mean, aside from even the summer months, they say that most of the time when we think we're hungry, we are actually thirsty. I have found in my own experience and with the clients that I coach that first thing in the morning, when you just chug as soon as you rise, and I'm talking, I'll get a big old cup of water. And I mean, right after I get out of bed, before you have coffee or food, before there's anything else in your stomach, and just chug it down because you're dehydrated when you get up in the morning. And then when we go to our coffee first, I love my coffee, but we end up drinking more of that. Once you have a full stomach, water doesn't go down the same way. And then especially during the summer, the day kind of gets away from you, one activity or you're traveling. So I just think it's super helpful. Get up first thing in the morning. You can keep a cup by your bed or you have your water bottle and then just chug and start the day off hydrated and in a good place. It's also going to help with your hunger, with your appetite, with your digestion. It's a really easy thing to do that has a lot of bang for the buck.
Yeah, and a lot of people have said that, and every interview I say, I'm going to do it. I'm going to drink water before I drink my coffee, and I've yet to do it. So I promise, tomorrow morning, I'm really going to do it.
Put it on your bedstand. Put it on your nightstand. That helps me a lot because then I get up, and then on the way to go make the coffee, I'm chugging.
I gotcha. Okay, that's a good point. I'm definitely going to do that. So that is a great tip. All right, so let's move on. So stay refreshed with seasonal foods. Tell us about that.
In the way that our food industry works now, we can get bananas and all year round. We can get potatoes year round. We've lost seasonality when it comes to food. We're no longer growing our own food. So the food that we grow is no longer in season. There's been such advancements in food transportation that, I can get my bananas from Guatemala. And so we've just lost touch. And foods really are designed to support the body at different times. So winter months, you have more root vegetables. Those are going to be your potatoes, your carrots. These foods warm the body up. They are things that grow under the ground, in the coldest months of the year, that are meant to warm the body and heat the body. And then for summer foods, that's when we need more hydration. So if you think about things that are juicier or things that are more water-based, cucumbers, peaches, you bite into that summer peach and it just, dribbles down your face. Those are really built to add to hydration. So you can chug it in the morning and then continue through the day, but you're also getting hydration through your foods. So you can eat your water. I just think that's a really helpful tip.
Yeah, I like that. And I also like how you mentioned that, it's very hard now to get local food. Everything pretty much in the supermarket, it comes from another country, regardless of the season. So, how do you suggest people try and, what do you suggest in terms of getting seasonal local fruits and vegetables?
What was really a big turnaround for me is I was actually living in Atlanta, Georgia at the time. I'm from Mississippi. I'm living in San Diego now, but I was in Atlanta, Georgia, and I started going to the local farmers market because what the people were presenting at the farmers market was what was growing in season at that time. So I was able to really see and witness the changes of the season and the change of the food that came in. It just really revolutionized the way that I thought about food. So I would highly encourage anyone that has access. It's usually going to be larger cities, but to visit a farmer's market. Now, one caveat I want to say is for a lot of us, I'm a mother too, or I have a little baby. When you have young families, you probably can't get everything you would get from the grocery store at the farmer's market. So it does require one extra trip, but it's really fun to go with the families. Bring the kids to the farmer's market. It's laid back. They can run around. They can taste different things, pick out their food. Then they're excited to cook the food. So I'm a huge advocate for trying to buy local foods. And it's just higher end nutritional quality too. And I won't go into that, but it's
no, absolutely. I completely agree. Anything that's local without pesticides and GMOs and all that, and that's a whole conversation for another day. It's very controversial, but I'm right there with you for sure. All right, so this one's really good. This is one of my favorites. So schedule so you can be flexible. Tell us about that.
They kind of say like rules are made to be broken. Well, I really have found that when you kind of have a schedule in place, it's actually a lot easier to be flexible. You kind of already have some parts of your day scheduled as part of like a morning routine. You tend to have your meals at the same time. Once you kind of have that foundation, then when a summer barbecue comes up, and you're kind of off where you're traveling and you have a different schedule, it doesn't affect you as much because you already have set into place some form of schedule and some form of nourishment. The body really does thrive off of eating around the same time during the day as if I'm going to bed the same time every night. I understand like summer travel, things change. But when you are practicing a more, honestly, never rigid, but when you practice a scheduled lifestyle at home, you don't get quite as thrown off by having a week of things being, just flying by the seat of your pants. And
yeah,
actually,
I agree with that. Sorry I didn't mean to cut you off. Yeah, with my digestive disorders, I definitely have to do that. I have the same thing for breakfast every day. I have a protein shake at 12 o'clock. Like I stay on a pretty strict schedule so that my body is used to it, and it definitely helps me.
Good. No, it's so true. And it's like I said, when you're vacationing, you can't all the time, but I go back to mornings because I found the family, if they can soak it up and have breakfast around the same time. And, like I said, you can be a little more flexible, but even your vacation goes smoother when you have those little, just points in your day that everyone can depend on.
Yeah, that's really important. And I definitely agree, especially when you have little ones like you do. As they get older, trust me, it gets harder.
I'm just beginning. I'm at 18 months and we had a hard time with the schedule, but we found that when we have that, somewhat the template, then the add-ons become a lot easier.
Yeah, absolutely. My son was pretty much on a very strict bottle schedule and feeding schedule. Every 4 hours, like clockwork, he would start screaming. And if you weren't ready with that bottle, you were going to have a major headache.
Yep. I thought, they all say you're going to be a different kind of mom than you thought. I thought I was going to be, a lot more go with the flow and easy going. And we tried that, but it's just a lot more beneficial having a little bit of, I don't want people to think you have to be rigid, but just being a little more scheduled, super helpful.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. And once they become teenagers, and it's so important when they're young because it's really easy. It's much easier to, feed them and keep them on a healthy schedule. As they get older and they become teenagers, like I'm experiencing now, it's very difficult. So my son has now discovered the joy of Pop-Tarts, and I'm like, oh, please no. But we all ate crap when we were kids, so hopefully he'll turn around as he gets older. But as a health coach, it's very difficult to watch.
Well, I will get some tips from you when I have to go down that path. Once you can kind of iron out this, this course for me.
Yeah, I promise. When he was younger, actually, he would eat anything. He went through phases. I would microwave like frozen vegetables, and as long as I melted some cheese over it, he would eat anything. Then the next phase was sour cream. He'd eat anything as long as he could dip in sour cream. Then he went on to ketchup, and then he didn't want to dip anymore. But it was great because all I had to do was squirt some ketchup on it. He'd eat anything: Brussels sprouts, lima beans, green beans. I wish I could do that now. Now I think I have to pay money to eat a vegetable.
Oh, it's that independence too. I can't imagine right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So let's keep on going.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. Factor and fitness. We have not talked about this. Tell us your tips and tricks on that.
Summer is an awesome time to, excuse my language, to say screw the gym. Like you sit there and you spend all these summer months on the treadmill doing whatever, doing classes. It's time to get outside and actually do real fitness. We didn't start having gyms really until like the 80s. Until just our society, we started having computers and software and bigger corporations, and people started sitting at a desk and they were no longer outside moving as much. So that's when people really started having, the gym mentality. In the summer months, we can hike, go swimming, play volleyball. If you're on vacation, go snorkeling. There's other ways to actually work out, but with it still being fun. And something else that you can do with friends and family. I mean, I'm really fortunate that I'm in Southern California now. So we have cool summer months. It's not awful. We do a lot of hiking and we just hang out and walk around and go sit something, and maybe we'll sit down and somebody will bring, a bottle of wine, and we'll sit down mid-hike and have a snack and a little picnic, so it's still fitness, but in a fun way. So I just really encourage people to take advantage of the summer months and get out of the gym and get outside.
Yeah, I like that for sure. And I think that bringing a bottle of wine would probably be the only thing that would encourage me to take a hike.
Fitness to point A, and then the rest of it, you just kind of, and have a fun day with it.
Yeah, no, I love that. I think that's fantastic. All right. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do right now is take a quick commercial break, put you in the green room. And when you come back, I want you to talk to us about ditching the shoes. I love that idea. And also how our audience can contact you. So don't go away. I'll be right back.
I'll be here.
All righty. Oh my goodness, she's so unbelievably gorgeous and fun, and I love her accent, and I love all her tips and tricks. She's just a phenomenal young lady, and I wish we were closer. So as most of you know by now, I am Samantha Weiland, a certified integrative nutrition health coach. I specialize in chronic digestive disorders. My passion is helping people in their 30s and 40s whose careers, family time, and social interactions are limited based on their fear and their shame around their chronic digestive disorders. As a sufferer myself, as I had mentioned before, I researched and then educated my doctors about the root cause of my condition. And I now use that knowledge to walk my clients down the same path to freedom, confident that they have the support of someone that has been in their shoes. So if you or anyone you know is suffering with chronic digestive disorders, I do have a free digestive assessment. You can go grab it on my website. It is at yourbestlife.samantha.com, and you can grab it right from there. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Carly back and hear all about her tips on taking off your shoes. So here we go. Welcome back, Carly.
Hello, hello.
Tell us all about taking off your shoes and anything else you want to take off.
Yeah, it's summer months, man. Bikini tops and flip-flops.
I love it.
This one sounds a little woo-woo, right? So when I say woo-woo, that's kind of my word for like hippy-dippy. That I'm originally from South Mississippi. So when I started talking about, grounding and connecting with the earth, people just kind of look at me, sideways. But there's science to it. So if you're familiar with acupuncture or acupressure or reflexology, we know that there's meridians in the body, which are different highways, basically. And they all go through your feet. So all organ systems are represented in the bottom of your feet. There's different points on the foot that support and nourish and will run through the wire, run energy through your pancreas, through the heart, through the liver. So when you're actually walking, and I don't know if you can see my hand, but walking on the ground, you're barefoot, you're stimulating different parts of your feet that is just supplying blood and oxygen and energy to your organ systems. So it really is scientific, not to mention it just feels good. Toes in the sand, barefoot on the grass. I remember when I was little, we moved from Mississippi to Dallas, Texas. And I have two brothers. And my mom said all the neighbors knew the Mississippi kids because they were running around barefoot all summer. Humans weren't designed to wear shoes all day long. We didn't do that. And I understand, winter months, of course, your feet may be cold, or if you live in a city, you aren't comfortable. That makes sense. But I just really encourage people to take the opportunity when they're on the beach, when they're out in the grass, to really just take your shoes off and walk around.
I love that. Yeah, being a dancer for many, many years, I really had a hard time wearing shoes. The first thing that I do when I walk into the house is take them off, because I just need that feeling of my feet flat on the ground. When I go out, I love to wear high heels, definitely.
Yep.
But when I'm home, and I used to be able to run around outside in my bare feet because they were so calloused from all the years of dancing. But now they're very soft, and I get regular pedicures, of course, so I can't walk on the hot asphalt like I used to. But I do love the feeling of walking on the beach, and not really so much the grass, because I mentioned earlier I'm not a huge dirt and bugs fan.
Yeah.
And I'm so sensitive to mosquitoes, and I'm not sure if this is actually true, but I heard that they really like stinky feet. It actually attracts them. Not sure if that's really true. And I'm not a sweater, but I think all the years of being a dancer, my feet do smell pretty bad. My armpits, not so much, but my feet, forget about it.
You can cover that up. No, I do. I have my ugly dancer feet too. Dancer feet are not very pretty after years of those point shoes and the calluses. But when you talk about dancing, I mean, you were able to really just hold on to the ground. It really just it changes the psyche a lot more. And I remember when I was pregnant, actually, my son did not want to come out. And I was trying to have a natural birth. It was like over 42 weeks, and they're usually 40 weeks is like fully cooked. And when I was talking to a bunch of different holistic practitioners, and they told me, just go walk barefoot on the beach, walk on the rocks, do everything, because that again would be, I keep doing this just so you can get the mental, the image of it. It was stimulating different things in my body and just making things move. And when energy becomes stagnant in our body, you're constipated. Let's just look at it from a very, elementary standpoint. But that's also when we get more diseased and we get more, we talk about, standing water. It becomes dirty and more infectious. So it's just, we get blockages. So when we can keep things moving through our body, that's what really supports healthy living.
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. And you and I are soul sisters in that my son did not want to come out either. Well, he wanted to come out early. My body wanted him out early, but he did not actually want to leave willingly. So he was a emergency C-section, and
Really?
yeah. So I always tell him, I'm like, they had to rip you out, or else you would have stayed in there for your whole life.
Wow, very much. And my son is still stubborn. He clearly was just stubborn the whole way through. Tried to do everything.
Yep, can't make him eat, can't make him sleep, can't make him poop.
Nope, just sit there and support him.
Yeah, exactly. They'll do it on their own time. And I always say, I guess now we're kind of like giving a parenting workshop, but that's okay. I always say, my kid, if I can't, make my kid do anything, I would even say, like, hey, all your friends are using the potty. Don't you want to use the potty? He's like, no, I don't care what my friends are doing. But I'm like, okay, now that's really annoying. But like in like 15, 20 years, when all his friends are like, doing something under the bridge, he's going to be like, no. So.
No, it is. It's actually a good personality trait to have. And it's funny, the last thing about parenting, because I'll go on this all day, but it's funny being a new mom as a health coach, because, I came in thinking that my kid was going to eat just clean broccoli all the time. And I know how to be healthy, right? Like I know what we should do, but then every person is really different, like you can lead a horse to water, right?
Exactly.
So you think, this is the best advice I give any other new mom. And that's primarily who I work with, is a lot of like new moms. I say reformed bad girls. I smoked a pack of cigarettes for 20 years. I partied it off. My dad told me, as long as you go to class every day, you can drink every night. And I did. So I had to get my health in order. And that's what I help other people do now. But I do a lot of new moms. It's, provide them with the healthy options, but just provide it, give the food on the table. And if they, if as long as it's available to them, then you're doing the right thing. You can't stress about it.
Right. No, absolutely. And, there's plenty of nights when I was teaching. It's actually why I retired, because when my son turned 5, I wasn't home when he went to bed, and he got up and was on the bus by 7:15. So we spent no time together, but he ate a lot of chicken nuggets and macaroni and cheese, I have to admit, and we probably did when we were kids too, and we're still here.
Exactly.
Right. Tell us how people can contact you, and tell us how you work with your clients.
Sounds good. So I would say if you're on Instagram, that's really the best way to get kind of my updates. That's where I share a lot of like real life experiences, how we're being healthy while traveling. I'm actually traveling right now. And so I can share insight on how to be healthy on the road and through summer. I have a website, carlyknapp.com. So that has a lot more about my personal story and my personal background. Now there's 2 programs that I'm offering right now. The first is an individualized health plan. And what that is it's a single session. So I work with a client. We fill out a 4-page questionnaire that gives me their health history. And then using my education and personal experience and resources, I'll provide them a health plan with ideas for, addresses their own health concerns with, food, autoimmune, whatever it is. And then we have a 45-minute FaceTime call where we go through that plan in detail. And then for the next week, they have unlimited email access to me so that they can further tailor their health plan. So as we talked about at the beginning, bioindividuality. I mean, anyone can go online and Google a healthy diet. You know what I mean? But it doesn't really work for them. And you know what? If you don't like chicken, then you're not going to want to eat baked chicken all the time. So what I do is I say, what do you live like now? How can we just improve the way that you live instead of giving you a full life overhaul? Because no one ever sticks to that. And I'm all about sustainable health, not a quick fix, because it doesn't last. So the second program that I offer is for people who feel that they need a little more ongoing accountability, is this 3-month, every other week coaching call. And it's the personalized wellness plan. And what I do is I take a holistic approach. Of course, we look at food and fitness, but I have found that mindset is the thing that really turns the dial. So we think about, how do we relate to our food? How do we relate to our bodies? And then we just take it, one step at a time. We meet every other week via FaceTime. And then we have a touch base midweek or mid-session about every alternate week. We touch base to see how they're doing. So those are my 2 programs right now.
I love that. And I love, and we're both fellow IIN sisters. And I love that the reason I love their program so much is because they stress so much of that bio-individuality and how they gave us so many different, different opinions and different thoughts on, like all the lectures were very unique. And, we were really able to kind of just take in what we felt comfortable with and kind of just throw out what we didn't feel comfortable with. So it's an amazing program. So I love that you work one-on-one with people with bio-individuality. And so the best way to reach out to you, I have it right here, your Instagram at Carly Knapp.
Yeah.
CarlyKnapp for the podcast. And any parting words that you'd like to share with us about summer?
Enjoy it this time, y'all. Like, get back outside. And then, and two, with the pandemic still being present, but opening up, I just continue people to really enjoy being outside as much as possible. Road trips, I'm not a big fan. I'll do about 6 hours at a time, but I think that's a really fun way to get outside and explore. And, this can be controversial, but I just am really a big advocate for not, let's not hide out inside anymore. Be smart, be safe, be healthy, but, enjoy your summer.
Yeah. Oh, no, I definitely agree with that. And I think a lot of the world is opening up. I think a lot of people are going out and about now, especially, visiting family if they haven't seen them in a long time. So that's something for sure. Yeah, that's why I'm saying this is going to be an epic summer, because we're going to do all the things that we couldn't do last year.
Yep.
It's going to be, so hopefully everyone's summer will be amazing. This is actually our last episode in the 6-part series. So Carly, you were a very wonderful close to this week that we've had. Actually been more than a week. Who knows? I might pick up a couple more people throughout the summer. But I thank you all for being here so much. Thank you for watching. Make sure that you connect with Carly, because she is fantastic, either through Instagram, which is right there. I'm going to drop her website up here one more time so you can hear all about her story, carlyknapp.com, or Instagram at Carly Knapp. And we look forward to seeing you all again soon. So thanks, everyone. Enjoy your summer. Bye.